It looks pretty cool, I bet, from the back.
That whole line of football is on here. Class too.
My girl's on.
So I heard you guys are introducing and talking about everybody.
We're talking
that's nice. Are we going just across?
Athletes, please take your seats. We're looking for football players, some lacrosse. Our girls are on.
Oh, it is only 12:28. The meeting says it's starting.
We got that mic. We actually give you another mic if you want that mic just for the coaches.
Okay. Does that one work the same?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
So you don't have to do the handoff in this time with the handoff.
Okay. Do you want to test that? Again, while we're waiting, just take some pictures, get that part out of the way. Waiting on a few athletes.
You know, being a baseball guy, I'm really excited to see Bo Weiss as he is committing to North Carolina. He is an extremely hard thrower. I've met with his pitching coach a couple of times because he's my pitching coach as well, and he's just a great athlete. He's been getting a lot of looks from everywhere. He signed earlier, late of last year, and he throws around.
Rogers and Vanolia.
Careful here. Oh. Yeah, I don't want to see you blow something here.
You guys all here? Are you guys all here? You're not. You're missing some. Oh, are you guys here? One. You're missing one. You're missing one. Excuse me, sorry. You're missing two right now.
State. Is that? Okay, we're still waiting. Test.
How'd you get this on? How'd you get this on?
Test. Test. Test.
Hey, it says it's on, but
Test.
is this going in your recording?
Okay.
No, it's not. This is. It says screen.
Hello? Tim. Okay. All right. Do we have all the athletes? Can I have your attention? See, raise your hand if you're not here. Okay, guys and ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Kozlowski, the athletic director for the girls division, and on behalf of both administrations and the school and Rick Sullivan, I want to just congratulate all these athletes. I don't mean to be in the way here. It's always such a great accomplishment as athletic directors, Mr. Doherty and I, to stand up here and just see such a overwhelming support as the community is showing and as parents. And thank you very much for all the wonderful cakes. After the ceremony, we invite you all downstairs to share in cakes that are all designed and represent these universities. So we're going to kick this thing off by having my two coaches representing our 5 young ladies that are signing today. So first, I'm going to call up Mr. Nick Fraser-Smith, our head swim coach.
First of all, I'd just definitely like to congratulate every one of these athletes here on an incredible achievement. To just being up here is amazing, and all their parents' support and coaches' support to getting them here. So I think they all deserve a huge hand. Congratulations to all the athletes at the table here. It is an honor to be up here and to introduce you to Emily Protz, who will be attending Seattle University. It's definitely, Regis is going to miss her. We're very fortunate to have the opportunity to have Emily be a part of the Regis Jesuit swim and dive team the past 3 years, and continuing on with our state meet coming up next week. Emily has been a part of 2 state championship teams. On a state championship relay team. She has in so far, and we're going into the last week of the season, Emily has made 100% practices while still maintaining a 4.1 cumulative GPA. And what that means is which means 8 practices a week, mornings, afternoons, and then continuing her practice in the off season to achieve what she does. And I think still being the awesome student athlete of what Regis is all about. So congratulations, Emily, and Seattle is definitely fortunate to have you, and we will definitely miss you, but keep in touch. Congratulations very much.
Thanks, Coach. Okay, up next is our head soccer coach, Mr. Will Carper.
Hey, who's scared right there already? Oh, that is Emily. Let's start down here, Emily.
I want to thank Nick for kind of leading things off. I didn't know we were going first. But I am this is always kind of a bittersweet moment for me as a coach, because we've been working the last 3, this will be our 4th year with these girls, and it's always sad for us to see them go. But at the same time, we are very excited with what they've accomplished and what their futures hold in front of them. This collective group not only is going to represent Regis or Regis Jesuit on the field with the utmost pride and respect and talent, obviously, but more importantly, they are going to be such an instrumental addition to all, in this case, 3 of their colleges, and both on the campus life and as well as in the classroom. So I want to congratulate them on that. First off, good friend Emily Griffith. If you've ever been to one of our games, she is one of the first people you hear upon walking into the stadium. She is one of the most talented goalkeepers we've had come through the program, as much as she wants to be on the field as well. I wish we could get her there, but as far as what she can accomplish in the net is a big part of our success and a big part of why we've been in the playoffs the last few years, and hopefully to continue that success this year. So congratulations, Emily. Emily Langenderfer was a breath of fresh air her sophomore year when she came into our program. She immediately fit right into our midfield, some of the best touch and that we've seen in the program, and we are extremely thrilled to have her as a part of our hopefully championship running team this year. And as somebody who's spent some time in Boston, and more specifically at Boston College High School and some education work at BC, I know they're going to be extremely lucky to have her, and I know she's going to fit in there extremely well in the classroom, on the campus, and especially on the soccer field. Then HAYLEE, she has been such a fantastic player to have in our program. My heart goes out for her every year. She's super excited, and she's been plagued with injuries and illnesses throughout the last few years, but whenever she works tirelessly to overcome those, and then she's on the field, and her impact is felt immediately from the moment she steps on the fields. And we are extremely excited to see this year, granted she stays healthy, she's going to not only help our defense, but be a big impact and leader to the rest of the underclassmen and the rest of the program. So congratulations. So HAYLEE is not going to Creighton all by herself. I may have forgot to mention that, but she is going with HAYLEE Block, and Creighton is acquiring two fantastic players, and HAYLEE has been such an unspoken leader throughout her time at REGIS. Her fellow players feel it. The coaches, we always go to her if we have questions. We always seek her insight. She's just got such a profound understanding of the game, and everybody on the team looks up to her. She was elected captain by her fellow teammates, and already she's shown the passion and the energy off the field that I can only imagine what she's going to bring to us on the field this season. So obviously her and the rest of these four, we're going to miss all of them, but we can't be happier for what we are having move on to the next level, I guess. Congratulations.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. I'd like to remind all of our spring athletes, we're still counting on you here at Regis Jesuit before you move on. So have fun today, but we still need you. Okay, up first on the guys' side, we're going to do our head golf coach, Mr. Craig Rogers.
Thank you. Honored to talk about Andrew McCormick. He's going to be playing some golf for Creighton University next year. Andrew was Andrew was a 3-year varsity letterman for us. He was named a captain this year. Played at the state tournament the last couple of years, and he helped us. He led us, winning another state title this year. At the regional tournament, Andrew fired a 68, a 4-under par, and I don't even know if he knows this, but that was the lowest score recorded in postseason play at any level, 3A, 4A, 5A, the entire year. He finished third at the state tournament. Got beat by a couple guys from Fort Collins playing on the course they grew up on. So other than the guys playing on their home course, he was the best in the state. In my book, he's as good as you get in Colorado. A wonderful young man, extremely proud of him, and look forward to following your career at Creighton, Andrew. Congratulations.
All right, thanks, Craig. At this time, I'd like to introduce our head rugby coach, Mr. Zach Fenolio.
So this is a unique first for me as the head coach of the rugby program. CASEN DUNN is our first official commit for rugby, and something I'm super proud of to be bringing into as a legacy with this school, to see a sport that's continuing to gain in popularity and gaining the recognition that it definitely deserves. And so CASEN is going to be kind of a pioneer for what I hope to see moving forward, with getting more and more athletes making official commitments for their plans to play rugby in college. CASEN is a wonderful attribute to our program. He joined the program just last year and immediately showed huge strides over the past year, and has come in with his senior year with a massive amount of confidence, experience, and exposure that he looks forward to taking to Grand Canyon University. But most importantly, in his last year at REGIS, helping us continue to bolster our program, build the depth, as well as bring us back to hopefully another state championship. So I'm extremely proud of CASEN's accomplishments in such a short time as a rugby player, and very proud of his pioneering attitude and showing that this is a pathway that many people can follow. So congrats, CASEN.
Introducing our head track coach, Mr. Ryan Taylor.
I'm super excited to talk about these two guys. We'll definitely have a lot more to talk about at the end of the season. We're looking at two of our top male athletes on our team, some of the best jumpers in the state of Colorado, looking at the triple jump, long jump, and high jump. And throughout the years, both Ryan Cornell and Austin Campbell have really shown that they could take a sport that they weren't too sure about and grow and really kind of dig in and say, you know, I'm actually really good at this, putting some extra time into it and exceeding. So this year they are some of the top seniors looking to possibly win in their respective events at the state meet this year. So Austin Campbell going on to Penn State. And Ryan Cornell on to Seattle U.
Thank you. Now at this point I'd like to introduce our head football coach, Mr. Danny Filliman.
All right, I was blessed this year to come into a great program and have these four outstanding young men that are committing to their respective colleges today, and not just for their football abilities, but for the young men they have developed into and the leaders. In a transition year like this, coming from one coach to another, these guys stepped up and were tremendous leaders, and I'm more proud of them for being the leaders and growing into the young men they are now, and looking forward to their future accomplishments that they have. So without further ado, Mr. Jack Stoll going to University of Nebraska. Jack was our tight end this year, and he was in my 19 years of coaching. 19 years of coaching, the best tight end I've seen, just great physical attributes and great talent on the field, and we're looking forward to what he does with the Big Red there. Next, Mr. Tim Daly going to St. Thomas University. Is that right, Tim? Tim's got a great motor, great head for the game, great leadership ability. You know what? He battled through some adversity with his knee this year, and was a great attribute to our defense, and which was one of the top in the state of Colorado. So congrats, Timmy. Next is Drew Schley going to University of Kentucky. Drew, in my opinion, was the best linebacker in the state of Colorado. You know what? He was all over the field. He was one of the leaders on our defense that was the top defense in Colorado this year. And again, he just led by example. He made big plays when we needed it. And anytime there was, like I said, a big play to be made, Schlegel was always in the mix. So Drew Schlegel. Last but not least, going to University of Penn, Ace Escobedo. Ace is the epitome of what you want in a football player, not only just his physical attributes, but his leadership on and off the field, in the classroom. You know, just a young man doing work with Special Olympics, doing just wonderful things off the field, and obviously just a tremendous attribute on the field as well. He's got big things ahead of him in the Ivy League, Mr. Ace Escobedo. Congratulations to these four guys. Thank you very much for making my first year special, and continued success for you guys. Congratulations.
At this point, introducing our head baseball coach, Mr. Matt Darr.
Well, what an exciting day for all of these athletes. And one thing I wanted to say real quick is a big thank you to all the parents, teammates, and everybody else. It's a huge sacrifice for these guys to get here. So thank you for all your sacrifices. I know how much that is, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. We have five athletes that we're going to talk about. Patrick Kenny is not here today. Patrick is going to Wittenberg University in Springfield, Ohio. He's a great leader, a great teammate. We joke as a coaching staff that he's going to be a coach. We know he is. He's got a great baseball mind. He could not be here today, but I do want to recognize him. I know his dad's here, so let's give Patrick a hand. Our four guys that are here, what an exciting and kind of scary day for everybody. Exciting to see where they're off to and where they're headed. Kind of scary for me when I think about replacing them next year when I look at that and be, wow, those are some great players that we have to replace. But certainly an exciting day for them. The first young man, Nick Spiliotis, headed to the University of Dayton. I had to look up his name. I just know him as Spilly. So, great, versatile player for us. Can play outfield, infield, pitch. Left-handed hitter is going to be a big part of our team this year. So looking forward to one more year with him. Next gentleman right here, Travis Marr. Travis is headed. Travis is headed to Clemson University next year. The thing about Travis that I'll always remember is just the fierce competitor that he is. Great two-way player for us, hitter and pitcher, but just the guy that wants the ball, wants to compete, and really wants to win. And I have just really enjoyed coaching you the last 3 years and everything you've done here. So thank you, Travis. Our next athlete is Bo Weiss, headed to the University of North Carolina. Extremely talented young man, one of the preseason player of the year and max preps, a lot of different things, preseason honors, just very talented. But the thing is, I've gotten to know Bo better the last couple of years is he's very humble. Just humility just comes out of this kid all the time, and I really appreciate that, how good he is, but how good of a teammate he is as well. So Bo, thank you for that. Last but not least, Quinn Cotton, headed to Grand Canyon University. He'll be well, he should be. We'll see, a 3-year starter. That's the plan here at Regis. And the thing I always remember about Quinn is when I first saw him, when I started 3 years ago, just saw the great athlete that he was and just the tools that he has. But he's really grown into a leader with character and integrity to match that. And that's why I've just enjoyed coaching Quinn so much the last 3 years. So thank you for that.
All right, at this point, introducing our head lacrosse coach, Mr. Jim Soren.
Thank you. Well, this is obviously a very fun day for coaches. You do have mixed emotions about it, but this is a senior class that's pretty exceptional. If you look at their resume, they have one state championship and they have one runner-up trophy from last year. So they've done quite a bit in the sport of lacrosse. And these gentlemen just represent the whole senior class, I think. First off, we have T. Michael Thomas, who is known as T, of course. All right. T last year, unfortunately, injured his knee in the first week of practice and wasn't able to even get on the field. He'll be going to Hendridge College, though, next year. He's very versatile. He plays midfield and attack for us, and we're really looking forward to having him on the field this year. Okay. Next to him, Skylar Winery, also known as Moose. Yes. All right. Moose is one of our goalies. Moose is one of our goalies. He'll be going to the Colorado College. All right. You know, first of all, to be a goalie, you have to have a little bit of a little craziness, maybe. Sitting there taking shots, you know, at 100 miles an hour. Well, that's when the coaches are shooting on them. But you're taking shots. But one of the big things a goalie does is also direct the defense. And I got to say this: Moose is one of the best goalies we've ever had as far as directing the defense. He's exceptional in that regard. So, he'll do well down at CC.
Jim is so understated.
Next is Tyler Reynolds. He'll be going to Sacred Heart.
I told him I would just give him one sign.
Yes, Tyler's a fan favorite, that's for sure. You know, Tyler, last year he was our number 4 pole most of the time. That means that he gets the unenviable position of coming in when somebody else gets put in jail. He did a great job playing man down for us, and he'll be on the field a lot more for us this year, and Sacred Heart's lucky to have him.
Three cheers.
I'll get back to the empty chairs here in just a second, but next is one of it's Cole Bolin, one of our captains this year. Cole will be going to Loyola, Maryland, which is a perennial powerhouse in the lacrosse community in Baltimore. Their nickname, or their motto is, or their mascot is the Greyhounds. Is that right? Yeah. Well, Greyhounds. You know, Cole was an all-league player for us last year, and you know, as far as that mascot goes, Cole can definitely match up with the Greyhounds going from restraint line to restraint line. We expect Cole to be very instrumental in our scoring this year. We're kind of predicting he'll be up there in the 20s as far as points go. So, next to him was supposed to be Alec Barnes. So Alec is on other school duty, I think. He was trying to get here, but you know, Alec is another one of our captains. He was an all-state player in 2014 for us, and we won the state championship. Very instrumental in that championship. Great face-off man. Last year, unfortunately, plays football also, and the last game of the football season, he injured his knee. So we didn't see Alec last season in the lacrosse field until the last 2 games of the season. And we were lucky to get him at that point. We're playing in the semifinals against Mountain Vista, and he comes up with a big goal. He also had to be our primary face-off man that day. Hopefully we'll have Alec here for the whole season, and he's a great player. He's going to the University of Denver, which is the current national champion. So they're getting a good athlete there.
Officially, but if they brought stuff today, just to make it ceremonial.
Another one of our players that's signing is Zach Bedeau. Zach was an all-state player for us last year. With Alec out, he had to take on all the face-off duties, and pretty amazing for him to step up in that fashion to get that all-state recognition. He was very instrumental in our great season last year. He'll be going to Rockhurst, and he'll be joining. Well, there's a handful of Regis kids at Rockhurst now, so the coach much like us, and he'll do very well for him.
How about if we give a hand to all of our coaches that put so much sacrifice into all this type of day? We do have one more big moment. That's the moment of quote-unquote signing at this point. Now, this has become more of a recognition day. So most of these athletes up here either signed yesterday or back in November, but we want to provide a photo opportunity for those of you that want to take these pictures. So following this particular part of this, there's a lot of cake downstairs. We have 24 cakes that need to be devoured, so guys, we need your help doing that. At this moment, if you want to get a little bit closer and take a picture, this is the signing opportunity if you would like to do that, and then we'll head downstairs for the rest of the day. Thank you again.
Go ahead, guys.
If the parents can get down to the cakes and help man that so it doesn't turn into a free-for-all, I appreciate it.
Hand delivered. I'm done.
Check. This might not be the same.
Mike number 2. Guys, thanks for your help. How did the broadcast turn out?
Perfect. Good.
Okay. Except I was small on the mic. In our gym, if you don't put that mic close, it loses everything. Here, it's like,
No, we lost. You should quit sports broadcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RJTV Sports' presentation of National Signing Day. I'm Nick Sanglis alongside Kyle Schwartz. We just got done with the festivities here inside the Z Theater at Regis Jesuit High School. Kyle, what are your thoughts on this ceremonial event? Sorry, we got to share this one microphone. We have a little technical difficulties, but Kyle, what do you think about this big day?
Well, first of all, congrats to all of the athletes. They have worked day in and day out. They've been just working hard, and they've been going at it ever since they've focused on trying to accomplish to get to the next level. This is a great day just for everyone. Seeing all the athletes who have been working hard, seeing everyone just excited and ready to start a new chapter in their life.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was fun to watch for me. Even just standing here as a fan, it's just a great event, kind of encapsulates, the great accomplishments of these players. Now, talk about some of the players that you saw out there today signing. Who really sticks out to you, and who do you look forward to watching at the next level?
As a baseball guy, I've been excited to see Bo Weiss. He's going to start playing for North Carolina next year. He's one of those players. He's just special. He throws anywhere between 88 miles an hour to 94 miles an hour. And he is one of those kids where, if you're in the batter's box, you don't want to face him.
Yeah, definitely. He's a good athlete, but someone I think is even a better athlete is ALEC Barnes. I don't know about better, but he's a great player. He played football. We talked about him a lot during those broadcasts. He's a great running back, but he also is signing to DU to play lacrosse, and that's big time. They're reigning champions. So I'm really excited to see him play for the big time schools in lacrosse. Unfortunately, he did have that knee injury. I believe it was this season or last. I can't remember, but last season, yeah. But he's a great player to watch. I haven't seen him on the lacrosse field, but you know what? I'm excited to see him. And also Ace Escobedo signed to play football at the University of Penn, as with Jack Stoll signing at University of Nebraska. We talked about both those guys during our earlier broadcast, and you know what? It's going to be great to see them step up at the next level, especially seeing Jack Stoll at a big-time Big 12 school. Yeah, it'd be great to see, you know. Anything else you'd like to add there, Kyle?
You know, looking at the girls athletes as well, one girl that was not here today, Takenya Cleveland, she is an outstanding basketball player headed to American University. And, you know, all these athletes, they have just been great for our school. They've worked hard, like I've said before, and it's just been a pleasure to watch them throughout our sports broadcasting career.
Yeah, unfortunately, a couple of those athletes couldn't join us today. They're on school retreats or otherwise, and so it's, even though you didn't see them on your screen today, they're still definitely a part of this event. Well, that's going to do it for us here. We got to go eat some cake downstairs. So for Kyle Schwartz and the rest of our Raider crew, I'm Nick Sangler saying so long and have a good rest of your evening.